Hey dads and coaches, welcome to Whiteboard Wednesdays. I'm Coach Mack with Authority Football, and today we're going to complement last week's Whiteboard Wednesday about the fade out concept. And we're going to talk about how to master the fade. So we're always throwing this in exactly the right place so we can get first downs and let those get turned into touchdowns, okay? So we're going to talk about running that fade. Now the most important thing with the fade is that we run vertical. Now it's called a fade route. We want to fade the route, but we've got to do that at the right time and work with our quarterback on how that gets done. So we're going to talk about how to run that and how to throw that. Now the most important thing to understand is I'm just going to draw a straight line. I've got these rectangles here to represent the numbers. Okay, you can line up in a lot of different places, but you want to leave space over here. You want to leave all this space over here that we can create room to throw the ball and fade. This is our friend. Now if we run routes out here, we throw the ball out of bounds even if we make great throws. We've got to give space for our fade to occur in the first place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this piece of paper, which is just 11 inches long here, and I'm going to use that to illustrate a concept called the radius. So check it out. At the end of this paper, and I know it's white on a whiteboard here, on the end of this paper we've got 11 inches. Right, that's this point. So let's say the radius of the throw, what I mean by that is the distance the quarterback can throw the football, okay? And so that's the distance from here to here. I'm gonna use the paper here to illustrate the concept since I don't have a tape measure with me, right? So he can throw it that far. He can't throw it any farther. And what happens when our athletes try? Their mechanics usually go to crap. They do extra stuff with their footwork and they usually huck it down the field. It wobbles, it floats too high. Bad things usually happen if they throw outside their range. So we wanna understand and appreciate and respect that range. What I want to explain with the fade is, as I move this out, I create a rudimentary radius. So that's all 11 inches from that point right there. So we can throw the ball, our quarterback can hit that ball. His sweet spot is anywhere on that line. He's going to make that throw anywhere on that line, and that's the advantage we want to understand. It's not about throwing the ball down here. It's about running vertical, catching on the run, and then doing something with it so we can get first downs and then touchdowns, okay? So what we want to do is we have to set this guy up to maintain vertical. Okay, a perfect throw is going to be right here actually, right? Just enough where we're going to fade this guy. He's going to fade right to it, catch it, run down the field. Okay? But the important thing is how we set that up in order to maintain that space, and then set up and position ourselves on the cornerback. Okay? So what we do here is we want to run vertical. Now, if the corner starts to widen us, what we have to do is we've got to stack that. So as we go around and get wider, we've got to stack back over the top. So I'm going to draw this corner here, getting in our way. So we've got to work, and as he turns, we've got to work over the top, step over his foot, and get over the top. So we stack that. My top foot stacks over his foot, and now he's in a trail technique, Now what I don't want to run out here, If I let him, and I'm going to draw it here just so we have a clean look. If I let him widen me this direction, then of course what happens is I run out of space to throw it in, and he just sheepdogs me right there, and I end up throwing the ball, and he ends up having inside leverage. I can make a pretty great throw, and he can still make a play on it, even an interception on it. So we don't want him to be able to do that. Now, what we do want, get rid of that. What we do want is we want to maintain that vertical. So we stack back over it, and try to get vertical again. And now from here, as he's in this trail technique, trailing us down the field, quarterback can throw the football out here. And now as he is working downfield, we've guided him and ushered him vertical down the field. Now when the ball's in the air out here, quarterbacks are throwing this to the outside eyebrow of our receiver, over the top, dropping it up in the attic on the outside eyebrow. So the ball should come over the outside eyebrow and hit him right there. So he's catching that ball in this position right here. Now what happens is he's going to push and he's going to fade to that. He's going to push here and fade out to that so he can catch it on that run right there. Real simple. And what's the corner doing? Where your eyes are, your body goes. So a lot of those guys that teach their corners to look in, they're running in, balls being thrown out, and we create that large separation. Not only gives us room to make the catch, gives us room to run after catch because the corner's not in position right there, all right? Now, what is all this other stuff about, Rather than throw the ball in here and bring this thing in right where the corner can make plays inside, if we can't get it down the field, then we want to drive that ball wider. Even if we have to push the route wider right here. Even if to push the route wider, okay, and separate from the corner. This is about first downs and getting the football to our receiver so that he can be an athlete in space. So it's not about throwing beautiful touchdowns here. That's what we want. It's about getting the ball to our receiver, however, no matter where it is. So throwing the ball wider, using this area here, some people call it, we call it the jungle, using this jungle over here to get it in space so we can catch the ball and then do something with it and get that corner in a chase. So width is your friend when you're throwing the fade. Throw it wider rather than far and inside. It's better to throw it wider and get that ball to your receiver so he can do something with it. The most important thing is throwing it on time. Throwing it on time. If we throw late, then all of this, he gets out of that range. We're still throwing here, but the receiver's way out over the top of it. Throw it on time, whatever that footwork is. 1-step drop, 3-step drop, 5-step drop. It depends on how you're coordinating that. Make sure you're setting yourself up for success as a quarterback, and make sure, coaches, you're setting your quarterbacks up for success by timing the route with the drop step and the protection. Hope that's helpful. It's a killer route. It's what everybody's throwing. Throw it for high completions and high rewards. We'll see you next week. Hey, this is Coach Mac. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to our channel.